Hello, everyone. Today, I will be recapping a movie called Lethal Seduction, where a 40-years-old woman seduces a young man and they begin an affair. However, things soon start to go wrong. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. The movie opens with Mark and his best friend Walter in a car, discussing girls and how a teenager's first time making out should go. Walter tries his luck with two older women in a car nearby, but they diss him by driving away. Mark makes fun of Walter as he tries to defend his move. In the next scene, Mark is welcomed at the door by his mother named Tanya, who organized a surprise party for her son and called all of his college friends. She brings his cake and tells him to make a wish, which he does. He goes to change, and as he comes out, he spots his crush Melanie in a bikini trying to find her way around the ropes of the bikini. She asks him for help, to which he obliges, but his mom butts in and sends him away. One day, Mark's mom's boyfriend comes home to take her out on a date. Mark feels really uncomfortable about it. When they leave, he quickly calls his friends over because he wants to spend some good time too. Mark also invites his crush over to impress her, but when they are sitting alone, it looks like she wants him to kiss her. However, he is so naive that he couldn't even understand what to do to get close to her to kiss her. Meanwhile, Mark's mom already made arrangements with an old friend to keep Mark company, which ruins the whole plan. At the store, Mark picks out some items when a middle-aged woman strikes his attention. She inquires about some machine and he's struck by her figure. Outside, he sees her again, and she introduces herself as Carissa. She also invites him to come over and help her fix the machine she bought, offering him payment for his services. He gladly obliges. While fixing her plumbing, she learns more about him, and she says that she wants to test the shower. She removes all of her clothes right in front of him and asks him to join her in the shower. His pulse races as he tries to catch his breath, and he joins her. They make out, and then they engage in sexual intercourse. They spend the entire night making love. After that, he gets back to his home, and even his mom notices something is off with him because he was smiling for no reason. The next day, he puts on some old-fashioned clothes to go out on a date with Carissa. Her mom couldn't believe what he was wearing, and she begins laughing at him, but she was happy for her son because he was going out on his first date. She wanted to know who he was going with, but she couldn't see her face. When he was in a restaurant sitting with her, she goes to the washroom for a while, leaving him alone. All of a sudden, a man comes to him and warns him. He says, "Run, just run away from her while you still can. Trust me, she is not good for anyone." Mark had no idea what he was even trying to say, so he doesn't say a word. Her mom begins worrying about him because he was acting really weird lately. She desperately wanted to know who that girl was that her son went out on a date with. When she asks him about that girl, he gets upset and walks away from there. He leaves the house again to go see Carissa, who tells him to meet her by the pool. He is amazed at the size of her house and learns that she's a widow. He rubs some cream on her, and they make out. Tanya was getting frustrated thinking about her son because he wasn't talking to anyone properly in the home. One day, she takes a quick look at his phone messages. She didn't find much, but she gets to know the girl he is dating. Her name is Carissa. She sends her a message through Mark's phone to come over for dinner. One day, she goes to see Mark at his home. He was really surprised to see her, and so was his mom. Tanya couldn't believe her son is dating a woman who is the same age as her. She was trying to control her anger, but how could she? After all, she was a mother. She begins insulting Carissa over dating her son because Tanya couldn't tolerate her flirting with her son in front of her. She says, "I will not let you destroy my son's life so that you could satisfy your romantic desire with my teenage boy. Just leave my son alone and get out of my house. I don't want to see you ever again with my son." Is that clear? When Carissa was leaving, he goes after her to talk to her, but she was so upset. Carissa tells Mark to be a man of his decisions as he apologizes to her for his mom's reaction to her. He later leaves and follows Carissa to her house. In Carissa's house, they both start to make out in the pool while Mark's hands are cuffed to the ring of the pool. Meanwhile, her mom begins searching for more information about Carissa because she wants to know what her son got himself into. She couldn't believe what she found. Carissa was not just an ordinary woman, she was married to a really old man who got murdered, and she was the one who was accused of his murder. The next morning, we see Mark sleeping with Carissa. He was making love with her all night. Mark didn't go back to his home, so Tanya comes to Carissa's house to talk to him, but Jessica opens the door and doesn't let her come in. Tanya says, "I'm sorry, I really am sorry for what I did last night. Will you please call my son? I need to talk to him." She says, "You are sorry for what?" Tanya says, "Because I misbehaved with you." Carissa smiles and says, "Look, honey, I know you are not here to apologize for what you did. You are here to save your son from me, isn't it? You really thought you could just come to my home and talk to your son? If he really did, then you are really a fool. Just get out of my house and don't come back here anymore." When she comes back inside and talks to Mark, she says, "Darling, I want you to move in with me. We will live together from now on." Mark says, "What? What are you talking about? I'm sorry, but I can't do that." Mark just didn't want to move in because he knew his mom needs him. Carissa feels really bad after listening to this, so she walks away from there and makes him leave the house too. His mom has known by now what kind of trouble her son got himself into. She was trying to find a way to keep that woman away from her son, and then she comes up with a brilliant idea. She messaged that girl, Melanie, who Mark had a crush on, so that Mark begins hanging out with a young girl and forgets about that old woman. The next day, we see he was talking to Carissa. She was asking him to come home once again and please don't tell your mom about it anymore. But when he sees Melanie is home, he ignores Carissa and gets busy impressing her. Tanya was doing everything to make her son go out with Melanie. Mark takes her on a date around the lake. He was really happy with her. Mark didn't want to let this chance go. That's why he kissed her. But Carissa was there the whole time. She saw him kissing the girl and she was really upset. Carissa goes to her to threaten her because she didn't like she was hanging out with her little boy. She says, "Mark is mine. He is only mine. If you want to live, honey, then just stay away from him." She gets so scared after this that she doesn't even talk to him. Mark kept trying to call her, but she didn't pick up his calls at all for days. One day, Mark's friend goes to see Carissa because he wanted to see who he is dating. When he sees her, he too gets impressed by Carissa's beauty. But he mistakenly says, "Mark was saying he is going to break up with you. Is it true?" Meanwhile, Melanie finally picks up his call and says, "Look, Mark, I really don't think we should meet each other anymore. Please stop calling me." Then she hangs up the phone. Mark was really upset because he couldn't understand why she left him all of a sudden. That's why he gets ready to go out on a date with Carissa once again. When Mark reached home with Carissa, things didn't work out the way she thought. Mark said, "Look, Carissa, I can't be in a relationship with you anymore. I have to go to college in another city, find a job, and get settled in my life in the big city. So whatever is going on between us has to stop now." Carissa understood that he was breaking up with her, which she didn't like at all. She hit a bottle on his head so hard that Mark passed out right away. A few hours later, when Mark woke up, he found that she had tied him up. He realized that whatever his mom was trying to tell him about this woman was true, but he didn't listen. She was a dangerous woman who didn't want Mark to go away and leave her alone. That's why she was keeping him at her home as a prisoner. Meanwhile, his mom was getting worried about her son because he didn't come home the whole night. She began searching for him everywhere. When Carissa saw that his mom was calling him for a long time, she messaged her from his phone saying, "Mom, please come pick me up. I'm at Carissa's home." Tanya quickly ran to pick up her son from Carissa's home, but Carissa captured them at gunpoint. His mom asked her, "Why are you doing this to my son? What is wrong with you?" She replied, "Why am I doing this? Because he was about to leave me. I love him for real, I always did, but he kissed that girl Melanie right in front of me. Don't you know how much it hurts? Your son left me no choice. That's why I kidnapped him." She slapped Tanya so hard that she fell on the bench on the other side. Then she said, "That's how things will go from now on. You have two choices. You will kill your son, or you will kill yourself. Only one of you could get out of this room alive." She put the gun on the floor and increased the temperature of the room before walking out. Tanya decided to do something herself. She shot the gun in the air to make Carissa open the door. When Carissa came, Tanya started fighting with her. She burned Carissa's skin with some rocks, which were getting really hot because of the rising temperature of the room. Then she ran away from there with her son, and Carissa followed them to kill them. Luckily, Tanya's boyfriend came over there and killed Carissa before she could hurt anyone. After that, Mark got back to his crush, Melanie, once again, and moved to another city for college. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. I always love hearing from my viewers, so feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts on the video or any suggestions for future content. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.